don't know what I was about to say. Guess thanks for joining the broadcast, but there's nobody here yet. Never is in the first 10 seconds. Editing some content and having conversations. Till about 5. It is 4:14 now, so about 45 minutes. Thank everyone for tuning in to the broadcast. I appreciate it. Hope you're all doing well today. Open, have conversations. Just gotta have somebody to talk to. Hey, what's up, Nevin? Thanks for joining the broadcast. How you doing today? Good, glad to hear it. Yeah. I'll be on for probably about 45 minutes. So definitely got some time to just hang out and talk. What do you want to talk about, buddy? Do I know Art the Clown? I don't think so. Thanks for joining the broadcast, though, champion. I appreciate it. Thank you for the like. Ajith. I think I said that right, hopefully. I appreciate it. Very nice, Nevin, though I will be honest, some of his songs are probably a bit over your head. Hello, Merc. Thanks for joining. I'm just tripping, my bad. See my reaction to what? Thanks for the like, by the way. I appreciate it. I am not playing a game right now. Today I am just editing some content. Well, we have some conversations. Thank you so much for subbing. I really appreciate it. I have thought about like doing some lives where I'm playing video games. Just it's like that was actually the first live that I did. I was playing Spider-Man, but haven't really figured out what I'm gonna do. All in all, with the lives. Very nice, Nevin. I wish I had Spider-Man 2. Sadly, I do not. Playing through the original one right now on Twitch, and then I'm going to play Miles Morales after I do all the stuff in the first Spider-Man game. I sadly don't have a PlayStation 5, but one day I'll get one. Thanks for joining, Tommy. Am I high? Little bit, but mainly just helps with my pain. I have cerebral palsy in my right side. That caused me quite a bit of pain, as well as I have two pinched nerves in my back and a pinched nerve in my neck. So yeah, I use it as a painkiller. The scorpion part? In, I'm guessing, the first game? In the second game, I have no idea what you're talking about. Or the third game, technically. Miles Morales is the second one. At least that's how I look at it anyways. It's a trilogy, with Miles Morales being technically the second game. Heard nothing but good things about Spider-Man 2, though. Very excited to try it one day. Just probably won't be anytime soon. Okay, so you're playing Spider-Man 2. Hello, Alex. Thanks for joining. It's actually not just you. The person counter isn't always accurate about how many people are in the live or not. But I'm more than happy to talk even with other people here. That's what we're doing. Editing and having conversations. I'm playing the one with the venom. Yep, that's Spider-Man 2. Which one is better, Spider-Man No Way Home or Far From Home? I've only seen No Way Home like twice now. So can't really compare them as much because I've seen Far From Home probably 4 or 5 times. But I'd say No Way Home because it tied in the other Spider-Man universes into the main universe, and that gave me huge goosebumps. Because yeah, I grew up watching the other Spider-Man universes, so to have them all part of it is awesome. Hello, Spooky Halloween. Thanks for joining. I appreciate it. Hope you're doing well today. Single, almost. Why can't I get a normal relationship? Well, there could be many reasons for that. Are you a, introvert person like me? I'm introverted, so I went a very long time without being in any relationships because I'm not one to really approach people. Don't be so worried about being in a relationship. Just learn to love life and enjoy the life you have, and you'll end up finding someone who wants to be in your life with you. That's what ended up happening with me. I became best friends with my girlfriend before me and her started dating. We were best friends for like 2 years before we even thought about dating. Editor, you retracted your message before I could read it. I'll be able to see you play one day. You're a little young, in my opinion, to like do broadcasting and stuff. But I'd say in a few years, when you're a bit older, you should definitely get into streaming your games. Like I've told you before, I think you have a real good head on your shoulders. Nevin, you seem like an intelligent young man. So you could definitely get a following of people if you put the effort in. Guessing that's meter, so I'm guessing manager in a hotel. No, only guy, but something's not working. It's relationships are hard, as is dating. It just know that, as long as you're enjoying your life, as much as it might suck to not have somebody to share it with, that's what matters. You want to enjoy your life, and that will attract someone who also enjoys their life the same way you do. Hey, Halloween, you shouldn't have redacted that message. I agree with you. People should come in and stay. I love having people to talk with. I appreciate you trying to support my numbers stay high. Um, but the numbers on my counter is generally inaccurate. A lot of the time, it tells me there's only one person in here when I'm talking to multiple people. Let's see here. Does the Amazing Spider-Man deserve a third movie? 100%. I would love to see another Amazing Spider-Man. I think the only thing that they did wrong in that series was how close they released those to Tobey Maguire Spider-Man. If they would have waited a few more years after that whole series was done, I think that those movies would have done way better, like the modern ones have now, because they took time between the movies, so the want for Spider-Man grew. But since they released the Amazing Spider-Man so quickly, yeah, it just didn't get the real following it should have, because yeah, they just did it too quick. I appreciate that. No, and talking to strangers is definitely a good way to get um, unbiased opinion on what might be going on, because talking to friends or loved ones or even a therapist, they're generally gonna try and gas you up and make you feel better, as everyone should. um, but they also, because they're so close to you, they might not be able to look at it as well as someone who isn't invested in the situation in any way. Hey, now we're at three Halloween. MCU or DC? So I go back and forth. So when it comes to like the movies, like live action movies, 100% the MCU did it way better than DC could ever do. They came in with like Iron Man 2, they had a plan. They're like, we're setting up this whole universe, we're making this thing happen. And they had a full on plan. DC didn't realize Marvel had this plan. So DC started releasing superhero movies and then realized, oh, Marvel's building an actual universe with tons of storylines. So then DC, I feel, tried to scramble too much to try and do the same thing. And that's why like their live action movies haven't done as well, because it seems like Marvel just prepped for it better. And then they got bought out by Disney, which, they got a powerhouse behind them at that point. So I do like the live action Marvel movies more than the live action DC movies, but I like DC's animated universe, the movies, way better than I like Marvel's animated movies. I feel like they did DC movies better. Um, just from, and I've seen a lot of the DC movies, but I haven't seen too many of the Marvel movies. Um, but the few that I have seen, the animated universe is 100% better. Um, and then I haven't read enough DC comics to side either way on Marvel or DC. Um, I do feel like overall I've probably always been more of a Marvel fan. But yeah, I enjoy DC as well. It's the last year and a half that I've really gotten more into the Marvel universe, like comic book wise, and just all their different universes in general. I've gotten real more into Marvel. So overall, I'd probably say Marvel, but I love DC a lot. And so it's hard to go one way or the other. So instead of MCU or DCU, I would say MCU and DCU. Because, yeah, I like most of the stories. Like I said, the DC movies aren't as good as the Marvel universes, but I also don't think they're bad movies. I have enjoyed the universe that DC has created. I haven't seen like some of the newer ones. I don't remember if I've seen the second Shazam. I haven't seen like Black Adam or Blue Beetle. But yeah, they came into the game a little late. I'm an ADHD kid. Gotcha. I mean, I feel to a certain extent a lot of people have a hard time focusing these days. What difficulty are you playing the game on, Nevin? You might be making a movie with your friends. That's awesome. Uh, I'm sure you don't want to give out too much information because it seems like it's something that's still in the works. But what can you tell us? What's going on about this movie? I'd love to hear about it. I do have Fortnite, but I don't really play it. I have it installed on my Xbox so that when like my nieces or nephews come over, they could play it, as well as I sometimes get online with my nephew or nieces, depending, and play the game with them. But that's a real rare occasion when I like haven't seen my nieces and nephews in a minute. I'll play Fortnite with them. As I've gotten older, I've slowly gotten more into like single player games than multiplayer games. And I'm not a big fan of like the battle royale games. End up putting a lot of time into those games to just end up like losing or something. Um, More multiplayer stuff I play is like Rocket League, I like Battlefield, but I haven't played the Battlefield games in a very long time. I've been playing the Call of Duty's Black Ops 6 Zombies with my brothers because they're playing it and it's part of Game Pass, so we have all have access to it. Um, I've won a few games in Fortnite. Uh, Maybe one day. Right now, like I said, I'm editing some content for future release, as well as I'm just killing time till my girlfriend gets off work at 5. Then we got errands we got to go run, and yeah, that'll probably take up a good chunk of my evening. Um, but yeah, I'm sure we'll play at some point, especially you keep being a regular viewer like you are, Evan. We'll end up playing video games together. As you can tell from a lot of my content, I'm a big gamer, so there'll totally be at one point where I do like a, you know, game with viewer kind of thing. Don't know if it's going to be a short or a long movie. Okay. Um, is it? I would say it really depends on what kind of audience your movie's trying to bring in. Um, like if your aim is for like smaller children, kids like 6 years old, that's small. They generally have a hard time keeping focus on longer movies. But then kids around Nevin's age, who he's 9, they can stick it out for a bit longer. And then obviously kids pretty much over the age of like 11, 12, they can hang on most long movies as long as it's something they'll be entertained by. Take them in to see like The Passion of the Christ. Most kids probably aren't going to be all that entertained. Um, so I would say it depends on what kind of audience you're looking to do. Um, Good at Fortnite. Can we practice? I'm level 999 on my PC. Wow, dude, you put in time. I don't think I'm level 999. Well, I am above level 1,000 on Rocket League, but Rocket League's like the only game I'm a high level like that in. Dude, mad props, Nevin. There's going to be one death part. So depending on how it's done, see, I would even say that you could do it with some younger audience, depending on how it's done. Because yeah, death happens to everybody, no matter your age, sadly, and it's definitely something that people like to see in their medias to relate with and things. You can triple edit. What do you mean by that? Yeah, I'd say that's a decent aim. About 10-year-olds probably. If you got like, um, again, I guess it really depends on the circumstances and plot of the story. I would say depends on what age it'd be appropriate for. Because like, um, why am I blanking on that movie? Kid ends up going to the afterlife, sees ancestors and stuff, and blanking on what it's called. That whole movie is about death, and I'd say that movie is for smaller children as well. It's all about how it can be done well. Let's see, 86 on PlayStation 5. Nice. See, when I play battle royale games, I don't really get that many kills, especially since I found the best strategy in those games. I don't do what a lot of people do, like drop right down, get into big fights, try and get the best weapons. I purposely go to a part of the map that doesn't have anybody else, so I can try and prep all my items before I fight anybody to make it easier on me. Um, I mean, I'd need more information. I'm a real big story guy. I like books, movies, TV shows, the whole bit. So, I mean, depending on what it's about, I might definitely be into it. And I've got like, this is a rough number. It's not exactly correct. Me and my lady have figured out, but we got about 25 nieces and nephews under the age of 18. Um, so yeah, if it is like we have probably, I want to say 12 that are all 10 and older, might be a few more than that. But we got quite a few nieces and nephews. So depending on the movie, it's totally possible we would take them to go see it. It's one of the things we do with our nieces and nephews. We're the like movie aunt and uncle. So triple edition means like you triple like edit and means the meaning of it. So it means basically you edit. Okay, I got you. I got you. You're good at the building bit of Fortnite, which I've seen some people do some crazy like quick building and stuff to keep themselves alive in fights. That's also something that I never like really got into about Fortnite, like the building the walls and stuff. It not my thing. Usually, if like I'm playing the Battlefield kind of or Battlegrounds kind of game, I play Apex Legends. I like that one a lot more. Um, but I haven't even played that in, I don't know, 3 months, 4 months. 'Cause I recently got back into broadcasting, and that's mainly just been like single player games. Yeah, it's quite a bit. See, you're catching up to me and nieces and nephews. Yeah, a lot of people have super big families. It's funny. My family was never really close. Like, we're close to a couple of our cousins, but our like extended family as a whole, we never really got all that close to. Um, that's why like a lot of our nieces and nephews are like borrowed kids. Basically, they're our friends' children. His stunt double tried to tackle him in football. So it's a sports movie. Nice. See, I don't think I've ever gotten 100 or even 50 headshots in a single game. That's more of a like over time I get large numbers. So like they are both just happen to also be in football on top of the like art they're making. I'll suggest you, nobody else on your team. Oh, okay, I got you. That's really cool that you guys are making a movie. That's something I've always wanted to get into. Not like the technical bit of making, but I'd love to be an actor one day. My social anxieties and introvertness have always went out when it comes to taking steps to even try and make it like a hobby where I do, you know, um, theater or something like that. Very nice, Evan. Tackle football is very dangerous, though. Make sure you stay safe with hitting your head and things. It's real dangerous for children to play tackle football. There's been a lot of studies that show later in life that causes issues brain wise. So when you're talking about football, you're talking about soccer, which I should have thought about that, um, because football is more of a when it comes to the world, soccer's football. Football. We for some reason decided to use a different name because Americans got to be Americans. Um, I've never really watched soccer all that much. I know of Messi, so I'd have to say Messi, but I don't really know much about soccer. That's when I used to I can't ice skate, so I never did like or rollerblade, so I never did like organized hockey. But when I was a kid slash teenager, we'd play like pond hockey. I was always the goalie because I can't ice skate. So I always preferred being goalie because it's easier to do for me since I can't ice skate. But goalie is like one of the most important um, positions of any, you know, scoring game that has a goalie, anyways. Because football, American football, does not. Messi is bad at the game. Yeah, I honestly want to know. I I don't really follow any sports. Um, I know a bit about football because all my brothers are into it. I pay kind of close attention to like hockey and stuff. Um, I like basketball, but I don't pay any attention to it. Um, Golf's okay. I play it with my brother once in a great while, but it's probably been, I don't know, a year, maybe 2 years now since I played it. Have no abs. I'm more interested in soccer than I do in baseball. I have absolutely no interest in baseball whatsoever. I find the game very boring, takes way too long. But overall, I'm not a big sports guy. Never have been. More into stories. Like I said, books, TV shows, movies, comic books. And how many does Messi have? I mean, 910 goals is a lot. I'm guessing that's in one season or just overall. How long are soccer seasons? Never actually thought about that. Football has a very short season. Golf is weird. Um, but like hockey, 82 games, 86 games, something like that. That ain't short. Baseball's like 158 or some crazy thing like that. I don't know how long soccer seasons are. So 36,000 what? Did I miss something? I feel like I missed something. No, I didn't miss nothing. Gotcha. That's awesome. never had that kind of money. Can't decide if I'm going to cut this bit out of the video. That's fine. And that's a. So did he get it? How did he get it? Did he get it for like the art he's making, or because of sports? It's not bad. Let's see, I get, is it 914? So that's 1,000. I like $11,000, $12,000 a year from the state because of my disability. I feel like that's a typo there. Evan, did you live? Do you live? Most people live. I don't feel bad. It's the way our system's set up. They haven't done like raises on disability in like 2 decades, 2.5 decades, something like that. So it hasn't kept up with inflation in any sense. And with Donald Trump going into office, he actually plans on cutting it. Ah, gotcha. So yeah, I'm probably gonna be getting less soon. But $300,000, Nevin. I thought you were 9. How you got $300,000? Yeah, I just recently got into live streaming because I hit 100 followers on YouTube and figured I'd give it a go. Try and, trying to build me a social media brand. Yeah, luckily I live in my brother's house. Him and my sister-in-law let me live here for $300 a month, which is the only reason why I actually exist. Otherwise, I'd probably like live with my dad or something, but he's having a hard time paying his bills as it is. Again, you're 9. You can't win the lottery. Unless you've been lying this whole time about your age. What is better, Switch or PlayStation 5? I have both. I actually have not played either. So I can't say. I don't think I've ever even played a Switch. Not that I can remember anyways. Also haven't played a PlayStation 5. Okay, so you don't have 300,000. Your mom has 300,000. Which is, I would argue, basically the same thing. You guys are part of the same family, so you do have it. Just the way it was worded at first, I've never actually mentioned Evan, so it made me question the things you've told me before. But that aligns with everything else you've said. So, yeah, I don't have either. A Switch will probably be what I get first, just because my girlfriend really wants one. So that'll be the one we probably end up getting first, because we'll try and save up and then both throw down on it. But I would, personally, I think the PlayStation 5 is probably better just because Spider-Man 2 is on it. And yeah, the Spider-Man trilogy is one of my absolute favorite video games series. So, and kind of biased in that sense. Let's see here. Wow, that's a lot of V-Bucks. That is a lot of V-Bucks. I know my nieces and nephews would love that. I could definitely see why someone would consider it a waste of money. It's paying money for some program in a game for just that doesn't even do much in the game. It's just like cosmetics and things like that. It's actually why Fortnite has had some legal issues against parents because of their predatory system of cosmetics. But they came in around the time where microtransactions were huge in the gaming world, so that's their main source of income, those microtransactions. It's also why it's a free base game. Yeah, you gotta try and get those adults to buy those things. So, gotta be logical about it. Not since I've started up my social media brand recently. So I used to broadcast video games from I want to say 2016, 2018. Just ended up stopped doing it because I just, I guess I stopped wanting to put the effort in. So I just, stopped doing so. I actually did make $80 through donations then when I was broadcasting over the two and a half years that I broadcast. But since I've started up again, I have not gotten any donations, but I've also not really set up any donation systems to get money. Because though it would be cool to start making money from this stuff, I've just been doing it more because I enjoy doing it. And yeah, why not try and make a brand out of it while doing it? Nevin, as much as I would appreciate you donating, I cannot, in my own opinion, morally take donations from anyone under the age of 18. Because it's, yeah, even if it's your money you make, you're young to making money and things like that. I'd rather you get to enjoy the money you put effort in to earn than give it to me. Because, yeah, working is something everybody has to do to some extent, and you should be able to enjoy those proceeds. So, though I appreciate it, I would rather you not donate me any money. Because, yeah, it's plus, there's also the danger, not saying that this is what would happen, but there is the danger of if I do, which technically, if you found the couple of ways I do have donation existing and donated to me, I probably don't know how I would actually stop it, but preferably, I'd prefer you didn't donate till you're 18. You're one of the few people that join on almost every single one of my lives. So you're supporting me 100% the best way that you can. You join, you you talk, you're doing everything that I'd expect anybody to do when it comes to supporting me. You don't got to throw me no money. I do. Me and well, kind of. She technically lives at her dad's and she comes stays here, a couple nights, few nights a week. We are both disabled and we get help from the state. This state has a lot of rules about who you can live with and how you pay bills and things like that when you are disabled and get help from the state. So sadly, without going very specific steps, which we are in the process of trying to do, they're just very long steps that have a lot of people doing them. So there's a long list and it's probably going to take a long time to where we could move in together and be able to actually afford existing together. Right now, we both have it pretty easy. She lives at her dad's house, and I live at my brother's house. And yeah, we're lucky enough that we have a support system to help us exist on the little bit of money we do get from the state. Like if I didn't live at my brother's house and had to pay more than just the $300 in rent that I pay every month, I would have to pay, rent, whatever that would be, which would probably be $800. And that's like as cheap as it would be. That alone, I only get $900 a month. That alone, I can't afford that. So then there's electricity, food, water, random necessities like soap, toothpaste, things like that. If we didn't have the support system we have now, we'd have a lot harder time than we are. It's I've been looking into like going back to school to try and learn like programming or something to try and get a better life for me and my lady going. Because the way the system is right now and the disabilities I have, unless I'm making $25 an hour, which without specific skills or education, that's really hard to do. I can't make enough money to make it worth it. And once I hit that mark, I also lose the risk of losing my health insurance, which I need for medicines and therapy and physical therapy and dentist appointments and other things I need to be healthy. I would end up losing. So on top of being able to needing to be paid a certain amount of money, I also have to have insurance coming with said job to cover my antidepressants and my antibiotics that I'm on. Like right now, I have a yeast infection in my throat, which is something I didn't even know could happen. I know you had yeast infections in your throat, but I have that going on right now, so I'm on medicine, which is luckily, if I didn't have insurance, this medicine's only $20 a bottle. But my antidepressant is $340 a bottle. So yeah, it's we're in a real restricted situation when it comes to getting benefits in the way we live. Like I said, we're taking steps to try and get into some other programs that'll help us exist and have our own place together. But those programs are very overtaxed at the moment. So there's a long waiting list, and with the way the American country is going to go now that it's heavily controlled by Republicans who want to cut a lot of social programs like disability, Medicare, Medicaid, food stamps to save money, it's likely that our lives are going to change because of that fact. And it is actually 4:56 for me. And my actual name is Casey. Yeah. Nevin, you got to remember, man, people see your mom's name, so they're going to go with that because that's what the display name is. You can't get annoyed about that, Nevin. You're under a different name. People are going to call you by that name. That's like my name's Powerful Swagger, so people don't know that I'm Casey. My actual name is Casey, but on the internet I go by Powerful Swagger. So you can't, like, a lot of people who get into the broadcast are new. They haven't seen you talk before to know that you're Nevin. Just like they probably don't fully recognize when I speak to you as Nevin, they don't realize I'm talking to you because it says Tina. So they don't realize it. You just got to remember, man. And sometimes people don't realize, and it takes time for people to sometimes catch on, oh, this is what I'm supposed to say. Just like, when people go by shortened names and things like that. Hello, Eddie. Glad to meet you. Let's see here. Did I miss anything? But yeah, Nevin pops in and out a lot. And it's not always that he's even like actually popped out. This number on my live, it's not very accurate. Sometimes it'll tell me there's nobody watching when I have multiple people watching. Sometimes it'll tell me there's 9 people watching when I have nobody. It's delayed, so it's not accurate about who's actually there or not. But yeah, Nevin, though it seems like he jumps in and out, he pretty much is still listening. He's just usually doing, playing video games or doing other things as such. Yeah, right now it says 3 viewers, and I think there's been 3 viewers for a while, so that number's probably accurate at the moment. But yeah, it's not always accurate. I've learned that because like sometimes when you jump in, Nevin, it'll still say 0 people, and you'll start commenting and stuff, but it's telling me nobody's actually watching. And so it's yeah, it's delayed, not always accurate. Just like a lot of the times it'll tell me that at one point I had 13 concurrent viewers watching, but I don't ever see that number. I usually see a bit like at one point it said 9 people. So it'll probably, when I end the broadcast, it gives me like stats about it. It'll probably say that I had 12 people concurrently at one time. Yeah, no, I think Spooky disappeared. They seem to pop in and pop out a couple of times, but it has been a while since they said anything. So I think they had moved on with their night, which is not a big deal by any means. I get how a lot of people would find my lives boring. I don't always have things to talk about. I appreciate that. I try and be entertaining and kind. I'll definitely be number Q. I'm down. But yeah, I try and be entertaining to everybody. My main thing is I try to be kind. Though, with that said, I am not kind to bigots or anything like that. There's a lot of people lately who try and, the last couple weeks, anyways, try and say hateful things or push how great their political agenda is. And some of them I feel like aren't very great agendas because instead of being about policy, it's about morals, and my morals are different. So there are totally, I do draw a line with some people and some things, but for the most part, I'm open to talk about everything. Nevin, I'm open to talk about whatever you guys want. You want to talk about your life specifically, my life, just the world in general? I'm down to pretty much talk about most things. I will warn that it's now 5:02 for me, so my lady's probably getting off right now. I will be ending the broadcast because she calls on her way home and we talk. And then we're probably going to go get some dinner and run some errands, like go to the grocery store and stuff. So I might be on later this evening. If I don't go live on YouTube, I will be broadcasting video games on Twitch. I am. Let's see here. I am editing one of my Reddit videos. It's real easy to get. I mean, if you're not one to really watch people play video games and stuff, definitely not. There's other content on there. There's people who do lives like this where they're just talking, where they're doing other hobbies, things like that, playing music. But yeah, it's a free app. It's not even something you have to like sign in to use, so you don't have to create an account. Yeah, it's a good way to communicate and talk with me because it's one of the ways that I go live on the internet. And it's since going live on YouTube is relatively new for me, it's probably the main way I go live still because though in the last week, little more than a week, there's been a couple days where I didn't go live on YouTube, but I did play video games. Mainly because I'm still trying to figure out what is good to do during my lives to talk with people, because the few that I've done where I'm just basically waiting for people to talk to, it's a lot of me just sitting there thinking about what to ramble about until somebody comes in and starts talking. So I haven't really figured out what I want to do during lives. I want to say Saturday. Yeah, I think it was Saturday, or it might have been Sunday. I did a stitch coloring. I did this while broadcasting, wanting to talk to people. Not that many people came in and talked, though I did have people come in and just watch. So, yeah, I'm still learning what a good route for doing a YouTube live would be for me. Because, yeah, if I don't have something to do, I just sit here and try and think about what to ramble, and a good chunk of the live is me just sitting here basically staring at the camera. And nobody wants that, so I've been doing things like coloring the stitch, editing videos. I think at one point I was doing subtitles on one of my YouTube videos. So yeah, just gotta figure out what is good for me to keep myself entertained while doing this, but as well as keep other people entertained and actually get people to want to come in and stay, instead of what most people do, which is pop in for 10 seconds and then move on with their night, which again, I get. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I do a lot of talking, have a lot of opinions. Not a lot of people agree with my opinions, which is fine. It's a great thing about America, is we have different opinions. But yeah, we'll slowly find our audience. I've obviously found at least 2 people who enjoy my broadcasts. He's probably, like I said, last time he said what he was doing, he said he was playing Spider-Man. So it's very possible he's just focused on Spider-Man right now, trying to beat whatever part of the game he's on, because I do know he was getting killed there for a second. So he might just be focusing a bit hard trying to get it done. He's probably still listening, though. Like I said, he usually, though it seems like he pops out, I think he's still there. He's just not commenting all that much. See, there he is. He is. Which you just made me think I should totally start asking people what their pronouns are, because I just said he is. I don't know if that's how Nevin actually identifies. Is she younger or older than you, Nevin? Yeah, I don't know how much editing will work for lives, because when I get into the conversation like I have with you guys, I end up stopping doing any of the editing because I'm focusing on the conversation. So I'm not getting as much editing done as I'd like. So I don't know how often we'll do editing and talking. I have 2 annoying sisters and brothers. Annoying sister and brother. My mom is having a baby. I think it's a boy. Well, that's awesome. I also have uh, three blood siblings. I have a twin, two olders, and then I have an adopted brother. And then there's a couple of friends who I grew up with that I consider my brother. So all in all, I have five or six siblings, but technically I only have three blood, four if you count the adopted. Okay, two little sisters. I don't remember you saying how old you are, Eddie. I'm gonna assume you're older than 5 and 6. So two little sisters and a little brother. That's cool. My brother Sebastian is adopted. He uh, he wasn't adopted in the sense of like he was in a home and got adopted in that sense. Um, he he's someone that we met pretty young. His family had some rough times, some things going on, so he got folded into our family for a while his family figured some things out. So it wasn't like a full adoption, but he is adopted, if that makes any sense. 10 and also my friend. I don't uh, understand the and also my friend. Bad. That's cool. Um, do you know like anything about his biological family compared to his adopted family, which is now your family? Is he like ever gotten touched with his biological family or anything like that? Um, since I thought about it, I'm going to go ahead and ask. Nev and Eddie, what are you guys' pronouns so I know in the future how to reference you guys? Something I'm going to try and get used to asking on the internet. It's something I'm used to asking generally when I run into people because I do have a couple of trans friends. Um, Made the movie Solomon. Solomon. It's ringing a bell. Yeah, it's ringing a bell, but I can't place it. Um, so, people's preferred pronouns are the way that you're discussed in conversation other than directly talking to you or directly using your name. So, like, um, a pronoun is basically he, she, they, um, or her, his, them. Those are all pronouns. Pronouns are just a way to describe people when you're not directly saying their name or directly talking to them. So, like when Nevin, because I know he's a boy, so I assumed his pronouns were he. When we were talking about how Nevin pops in and out, I would say he is playing Spider-Man. He pops in and out because I assume that's what your pronoun is. Um, Everybody has pronouns. Pronouns are part of the English language. They have been forever and will always be a part of um, English, German, whatever. Pronouns are a core part of how we communicate. And you should have the respect to ask people what their pronouns are because in today's world, we have evolved a bit in society to where it's not just, oh, whatever that person looks like, that must be what his pronoun is. Because, yeah, that's not always the case. Right. Well, you can be a boy and still go by a different pronoun. So you're both a little young for me to actually be teaching you this stuff. Got a few more years before it's really matters. But sex, which is how you're biologically born, that you guys were born as boys, is different from gender, which is a social construct, and how you portray yourself in society. So, and also, gender being a social construct, people have different definitions of what they consider to be like a man or a woman. Like a lot of people will say like being a man is taking care of your family and paying bills and being a responsible adult, where they'll say like being a woman is having children and caring for your children, when that's not always the case. Like me and my lady, because of our disabilities and financial issues and other social issues, we don't plan on having children because it's not physically, emotionally, mentally, or financially viable for us to do that. But that doesn't make us any less of adults or who we portray ourselves as, either a woman or a man, because we don't plan on having children. At least birthing them. We might one day, when we're a bit more financially set up, like adopt a child. But that's a far off future thing that isn't in the near future, because we don't even have the money to stay in our own homes. We live in other people's homes. So we definitely don't have the money to raise any children. And it looks like apparently you guys left once I started talking about pronouns, which is understandable. It's a serious topic. I get people not wanting to talk about it. And the English language is nuts. We have changed it crazy over the last 150, 200 years. Really, over the last 40 years, the English language has changed an insane amount. Because it's always evolving and growing and changing, just like human beings are. And our language matches us to portray us to each other, so it evolves with us. Plus, some of the things that people are like, oh, this is new and this wasn't like this. It was like that before. It just wasn't as well known or talked about because it was shunned and shamed when it happened. But hey, we got 4 likes today. Moving up in the world. All right. And that is my lady messaging me. So it is time to go. I want to thank everyone for tuning into this broadcast. I appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, throw me a like and follow. Best way to know when I am broadcasting is to follow and have notifications turned on, because I don't really have a set schedule of when I broadcast. Just broadcast when I can. Appreciate it if you followed me on YouTube. I'm growing here slowly but surely, so I enjoy getting more followers. But my Twitch, I have 249 followers, so I only need one more over there to hit 250. I'd appreciate it if you went over there and did that. My TikTok needs one more to hit 50. I'm at 49. I'd love to grow that page. And then my Facebook, that page isn't doing all that great. It's only got 38 follows. So to grow that one would be cool, but I don't really expect that it hasn't. It's my second oldest page and never really grown to any extent. So I don't, until my other pages start getting traction, that page probably isn't going to do anything. But yeah, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch are all the same. Powerful Swagger, spelled the same. And then my TikTok is PWFLSWGR. Again, I want to thank you for tuning into this broadcast. I truly appreciate it. I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe I'll see you on the next one. It might be today, it might be tomorrow. Who knows? But again, hope you have a wonderful day. Thanks for clicking on this broadcast. And remember, try to be kind out there.